Okay, we're keeping a close eye on this. The state police representatives talking about this really intense manhunt, and we just saw some incredible video, I would say, which we're going to show you in just a moment. I want to bring in Callahan Walsh. His father's John Walsh, former host of America's Most Wanted, the two co-hosts In Pursuit with John Walsh, a fugitive hunting series on Investigation Discovery, so they know a lot about this kind of work. Callahan, thank you very much. It's great to have you with us today.
Thank you for having me.
So I want to take this video full on the screen because this shows his escape, and it's quite remarkable. He's on the left-hand side there, and he kind of does a crab walk in between two walls. The other guy on the right-hand side of the screen, possibly maybe covering him or keeping an eye out for him, he crab walks up between the two buildings, and then we're told that he ran across the roof. Here we see it again so you can get a closer look at this. It's pretty remarkable. And you see this other guy on the right. So he then went across the roof of the building, went down over to the fence, climbed through the razor wire, and got out of this prison. What do you think about this, Callahan? What's your takeaway here?
Well, I think that detention facility really let the public down. They have a responsibility to keep these inmates locked up. Law enforcement does a great job of capturing these fugitives, these criminals, and their responsibility is to make sure they don't get back out on the streets because they're very dangerous once they do. There was another inmate that escaped back in May in the same way. So to see this happen just months later, someone really dropped the ball, and they have, you know, the public and the community has every right to be upset with that detention facility. I mean, not only is this going to cost those taxpayers a lot of money in this search, but it puts them at risk as well. Yeah,
I mean, so someone else did the exact same thing with like a crab walk in between these two walls?
That's my understanding. It was the same exercise yard, the same type of escape that this facility then brought in another company to try, a third-party company to try to shore up any issues that they might have had, and obviously that didn't work either.
That's incredible. And you're right. You know, you would think somebody would be fired at this point for letting down the folks who depend on that security from the prison. So what about, he's a fugitive now. He's been out there for 7 days, I believe. They've now expanded the perimeter. They've had several sightings. What do you make of the effort to bring him in?
You know, my hat's off to law enforcement and the U.S. Marshals doing everything they can. I know that terrain is difficult, but I can't remember an escaped fugitive that has been seen so many times, but yet hasn't been caught. So I really think it's just a matter of time. And the public, while law enforcement and Marshals are doing some incredible work, and they have extended that search area, that perimeter down south to where those sightings were. The public is likely going to be the way this guy's caught. So I urge everybody in that area, keep your eyes open. If you see anything, say something. Yeah. Oftentimes we see people have tips that they think are insignificant in the case. Really, it's the tip that breaks the case wide open that leads exactly to an arrest like this. So I implore anybody that thinks they might have seen him, might know something, to call law enforcement and make sure this guy's taken off the streets.
Do you think he's likely to stay in that area, you know, from your experience, or is he going to try to hop a train, do whatever he can to get far away?
Well, the best thing for him to do to keep out of law enforcement's hands is to try to get as much distance from that area as possible. So he is going to try to use any means necessary. However, there is a white-hot spotlight on this case, and so he's probably trying to stay low, trying to travel, you know, in the cover of darkness, trying to stay, you know, a low profile. So, you know, it will take time for him to get some distance away, but it's been 7 days. He could be pretty far at this point now.
You sure could. Callahan Walsh, thank you very much. Great to have you with us today.
Thank you for having me.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.